Okay, let's jump right into it. I've got a serious question for you right off the bat. Why are we still paying for these fleeting, temporary spikes of social media traffic, or pouring money into expensive ads, when you can just capture consistent, free, organic search traffic instead? It's this trap that so many small business owners fall into, right? You're constantly feeding the advertising machine when the true engine of sustainable growth is literally sitting right there, just waiting to be optimized.
So welcome to this explainer. Today we're building a definitive, highly actionable SEO blueprint for your small business. We're going to completely strip away all that intimidating, overly technical jargon together and focus strictly on the foundational strategies that actually move the needle for your bottom line.
Here's our game plan for today. We'll start with a welcome to the SEO library, then we'll move into finding high-value keywords, unlocking user search intent, building topical authority, and we'll wrap up with essential technical maintenance.
All right, let's dive into section 1. Welcome to the SEO library, understanding the basics.
If you're completely new to the world of SEO, there's this brilliant analogy from our sources that I just love. Imagine search engines like Google as these infinitely massive physical libraries. But instead of storing physical hardcover books, they store copies of websites and web pages. When a user searches for something, the librarian, which is Google, scours its vast index to return the most relevant results possible. So your goal is simply to prove to that librarian that your website is the absolute best book on that specific topic. And how do you do that? Well, a huge part of it comes down to backlinks. You can basically think of backlinks as votes of confidence from other prominent authors in the library.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. To even be placed on the shelf in the first place, your site has to go through crawling and indexing. This is simply the process of how Google actually discovers your web pages and adds them to their database so customers can find you. Google uses these automated programs, they call them crawlers or spiders, to follow links around the internet. They are literally crawling billions of pages to gather public information and store it. If your page isn't in that index, it simply doesn't exist to the search engine. It's like writing an absolute masterpiece of a novel and then just forgetting to hand it over to the librarian.
Moving right along to section 2, finding high-value business keywords, balancing volume and value.
So an absolutely crucial point here is that you have to balance raw search volume with actual traffic potential. Raw search volume just tells you how many times a phrase is searched, right? But thousands of searches do not always translate into actual business. For example, our source data highlights a phrase like kilometers to miles. That gets searched hundreds of thousands of times a month. But guess what? 80% of those searches don't result in a single click. Why? Because Google just slaps a handy little calculator right there on the search results page. The searcher gets their answer and leaves. That's exactly why traffic potential, the actual clicks you can earn by ranking at the top, is a much more reliable metric for your business.
To figure out that real traffic potential, you can assign what's called a business value score to your target keywords on a scale of 1 to 3. This turns vague ideas into a hard, measurable metric. Let's say you run a business selling used golf clubs. A search query like buy used golf clubs gets a score of 3. That is a high-intent customer who is ready to open their wallet right now. Best golf clubs, on the other hand, gets a 2. They're in the research phase, shopping around, so you can easily plug your product links. But a search like what is a golf handicap gets a 1. Sure, it might bring in some traffic, but it's really tough to organically recommend your products to someone who's just looking up a quick definition. You really want to prioritize those 3s and 2s.
By following this super simple 4-step process, you can easily uncover high-value, low-competition keywords. First, you start by generating ideas using keyword modifiers. Just adding words like best, top, or how to your base keywords helps you match exactly what your target audience wants. The word best instantly tells you the user wants a comparison. How tells you they want a step-by-step tutorial. Once you've got those ideas, step 2 is checking their actual traffic potential. Step 3, assign your 1 to 3 business value score. And finally, step 4, look at your competitors to analyze just how difficult it's going to be to actually rank for it.
Which brings us nicely to section 3, unlocking user search intent, the 3 C's formula.
You can basically decode the hidden reason behind any Google search by using the 3 C's formula. This helps you identify the content type, the content format, and the content angle that Google is already actively rewarding. Just search for your target keyword and actually look at the top results. Are the top pages long-form blog posts or are they e-commerce product pages? That's your content type. Are they how-to tutorials or listicles? That is your content format. And what's the hook? Is the title focusing on the current year, like a freshness angle, or is it aimed specifically at beginners? That's your content angle.
I really want to emphasize this point. Listen, if
you try to force an e-commerce category page into a search where users clearly just want an informational blog post, you are fighting user intent and your efforts will literally be meaningless. For example, if someone searches slow cooker recipes, their intent is obviously to find a blog post with recipes. If you try to rank a product page selling a slow cooker for that exact search, Google is not going to rank you. It's just not what the searcher wants to see in that moment. You absolutely have to align with the intent.
Okay, Section 4, Building Topical Authority with Content, Structuring for Success. So, once you know the intent, how do you actually build that topical authority? It really comes down to comparing your competitor's basic page subheadings with specific content gaps that you can fill to provide a way more comprehensive answer. Say you look at the top ranking pages for best golf club sets. You might notice they all just list the make and model of the clubs as subheadings, nothing special. But by doing a quick content gap analysis, you might discover that people searching for this are also specifically looking for men's clubs or cheaper options. By adding those specific subtopics to your page, you instantly provide a deeper, much more complete resource than any of your competitors. To maximize those top rankings, you've got to follow some basic best practices for optimizing your actual on-page content. And no, to be clear, this does not mean awkwardly stuffing your exact match keyword into every single sentence. Google is plenty smart enough to understand synonyms now. Instead, just include your target keyword naturally in your page title. Make sure your URL slugs are short, descriptive, and use hyphens instead of spaces. Organize your text with really clear subheadings, because let's be honest, people love to skim. And finally, avoid massive, complicated words. Write at or below a 6th grade readability level so your content is truly accessible to everyone.
Finally, Section 5, Essential Technical Website Maintenance, Keeping the Doors Open.
Your website is your digital storefront, right? And optimizing your load speeds for mobile search users is absolutely essential. Google explicitly uses page speed as a ranking factor, especially on mobile devices. You can easily start fixing this by enabling content caching on your web host to deliver files more efficiently. Next, you must compress your image file sizes using a tool like ShortPixel. Honestly, massive uncompressed images are the #1 culprit of slow load times. And lastly, just avoid massive walls of text. Break things up so it's actually readable on a small smartphone screen.
You really should run regular audits using this step-by-step checklist to diagnose technical crawl errors. As our sources point out, it is incredibly common and just heartbreaking for a web designer to use a no index tag while building your site and then accidentally leave it there when the site goes live. That innocent little mistake is literally telling Google, hey, please completely ignore my business. You also need to check your robots.txt file to ensure you aren't blocking crawlers, use canonical tags to tell Google which page is the master copy if you have duplicate content, and always fix broken links so your users don't hit frustrating dead ends.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to remember that search engine optimization gives you this incredible, unparalleled opportunity to reach massive audiences consistently without paying per click. Unlike the endless treadmill of social media, where you have to constantly churn out fresh content just to stay relevant, a well-optimized, highly ranked web page can bring you passive, highly targeted traffic month after month, year after year.
But remember, your small business SEO journey is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes real time to build your reputation in this digital library. So, I challenge you to look at your business blueprint today. What is the single most valuable keyword that your competitors are totally ignoring that you are going to capture tomorrow? Start there. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy optimizing.